What's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. So today's video honestly gives me the creeps, you guys, just because like it's something I didn't really want to talk about, yet it's something that interests a lot of people. And it's something that we've all grown up with. That's kind of what bugs me the most about it. Okay, you guys, Dan Schneider. This guy was a Nickelodeon creator. He made most of the popular Nickelodeon shows, including iCarly, The Amanda Show, Zoe 101, Victorious, Sam and Cat, and I'm sure there's a few others on the list as well. So this guy was like super popular with Nickelodeon, as you can tell, because he created a lot of their popular shows, which meant he worked with a lot of kids. This guy, he's just so creepy. So apparently Dan Schneider has like a foot fetish or something creepy like that, and he shows a lot of feet on his shows. On the Sam and Cat Twitter account, they asked their followers to write hashtag Sam and Cat Saturdays on the bottom of their foot, which I find really creepy because most of their like followers or viewers, whatever you want to call it, they were all kids, I guess preteens, and they knew that. I'm pretty sure that this Dan Schneider guy had something to do with that hashtag or that post, because he's that involved with these shows. I'm pretty sure he's involved, you know, behind the scenes on their social media accounts as well. Another thing that I found that was super weird and creepy is I was searching on YouTube like other things related to this to see if it's true or not, and I bumped into a YouTube channel by the name of Revenge of the Cis, I believe. It's Revenge of the CIS. On this video, they're interviewing a girl who back in the day, her manager got her an audition for iCarly, and like in the paperwork it said to wear something cute, wear like spaghetti straps, which is really weird for a kid audition to be that specific about what you're supposed to wear. I don't know much about auditions, so maybe that's the norm, but that sounds kind of weird. Anyways, when she got there, there was a huge crowd of kids. She said they picked like 40 kids out of 200. And when they brought the 40 kids in the back, they told them that Dan Schneider was in the other room about to film them. And in order to move on to the next step, they needed to remove their shoes and socks. And when they got into the room, they needed to run around the room while he filmed them and tell him how much they like being barefoot or something like that. Meh. Gross. What the hell? Like, what the hell? If you want to get creeped out, watch that interview. It freaked me out a whole lot. I'm going to put that link down below in like the description. Brought that. Great. All of the shows that Dan Schneider worked on, they all had really inappropriate jokes. Like, not even just like adult jokes, but like creepy pedophile jokes that adults, like normal adults who think like an adult, wouldn't even put in a show. Recently, Dan Schneider was let go from Nickelodeon, so they're like no longer working together, Nickelodeon and Dan Schneider. And when people ask like why was he let go and whatnot, they say that it was because of his abusive behavior, complaints about long production days, and issues with high budgets, stuff like that, which I don't buy. I feel like Dan Schneider was let go for other reasons. I'm not gonna say what reasons, because I'm pretty sure all of you guys know what I'm talking about, or at least I hope you know what I'm talking about. There's so many creepy things with Nickelodeon, the network in general. I love Nickelodeon. Like I'm like I grew up on Nickelodeon, so I'm not trying to bash it, but this is like the creepy side of Nickelodeon that I found. And not just with like Dan Schneider, but with other shows, like some of their cartoony shows. There were a lot of inappropriate jokes in those as well. There was like Rocko's Modern Life, where there's a construction guy and he's like reading a magazine, and they're like trying to, I guess, make it come off like it's like an inappropriate magazine. I don't know if I can say P-O-R-N, a graphic magazine. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. I don't want this video to get tagged or taken down. But yeah, that was really weird. You can find pictures of that. Or in like Hey Arnold, where there's like drug references. And there's another one, you probably heard this one, but like SpongeBob, he's like sitting down watching TV and he's supposed to be watching something. that he's not supposed to be watching in a cartoon, you know, catch my drift. It's P-O-R-N as well, but it's like a jellyfish, I think, or something weird like that. And the Fairly Odd Parents, like the title of one of their shows was called Crock Blocked.
It sounds like,
you know, or in iCarly where he's like reading a book and it's called Nifty Shades of Beige, or in Rugrats where like the grandpa's watching the kids and he's like saying, when you go to sleep I'm gonna watch this show and it's not for you, or something like that, and it's supposed to be another P-O-R-N. They had like a lot of weird names I noticed for their shows, like the Naked Brother Band or Wienerville, or who's like working at a kid show network and they're like, hey, let's make a show about brothers and call it the Naked Brother Band, or hey, let's call this show Wienerville for kids, guys, because it's for kids. And I want to make this show for kids, you guys, because it's so cool and fun for kids. Who thinks of that? Like, I would never think of that. And how does this stuff get passed to even premiere on these networks? Like, that's what I want to know. How do they approve this stuff to get a premiere date? And I don't know. It's just completely like mind-boggling that this stuff is just out there and it's okay. People don't get in trouble for this. I found creepy gifs of like Sam and Cat or Victorious and iCarly, and these gifs are so freaking creepy that like you feel like a pervert looking at these gifs, and it's from a Nickelodeon show. Like, they're just so inappropriate. Like, when they catch the moment of what these kids were told to do on film, it's really like disturbing. Another thing that I bumped into was like all of the Nickelodeon stars and like what they thought of Nickelodeon like years after they were on Nickelodeon. And it was really crazy because Ariana Grande doesn't really mention her Nickelodeon days. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but I kind of thought that was weird. And whenever they ask her, you know, how was it? All she says is, those days were very frustrating. But she doesn't really comment, like she doesn't go too into detail about those days. Maybe they were the best days of her life. I don't know. I'm just saying that's kind of weird that she doesn't bring it up like ever. Even when they talk to her about it, she's just really short on it. And that's it. I mean, like, even Mark Summers, the host of like Double Dare, you know who I'm talking about, he even said himself that he doesn't think highly of Nickelodeon, and he said that the network is going in the dumper and they have no idea what they are doing. His words exact. Janet McCurdy like completely skipped out on the Kids' Choice Awards. She like got on Twitter and said how badly Nickelodeon treated her. If their own stars don't want to talk about it, or if they just have negative things to say, that's pretty bad. I also bumped into like the stars that kind of went crazy, or like just their lives kind of fell apart after being on Nickelodeon. This kid, Matthew Underwood, he was from Zoe 101. He was arrested for drug paraphernalia and was caught with an underage girl. Amanda Bynes, she's been in and out of rehab. She's had DUIs and was placed in a psychiatric ward. She pretty much had like a mental breakdown. That's the one that like sticks with me the most. That one freaks me out because I used to watch her. I never in my entire life would have thought that she would go through what she went through. And I think she's so brave because like she had to do it in the public eye, and that must have been really, really hard. Like, all of us have a mental breakdown, but to do it in front of the entire world, I couldn't imagine. I found this stupid conspiracy theory about Amanda Bynes where like they claim that they at birth or something, or when she was a kid, they placed a chip in her head and they raised her to be a star and to brainwash kids and all this stuff. And supposedly the chip like malfunctioned and she went crazy and was never the same again. The Illuminati was running the entire thing, and that's what happened. That one's just so unbelievable, and like I don't know. There's a lot of things that I believe the Illuminati would like be involved in. Maybe I am one of the brainwashed kids and that's why I don't believe it. Poof. So the last one I'm going to talk about is really, really creepy because you guys probably remember this guy if you grew up watching shows like All That or The Sweet Life on Deck. This guy was both on Nickelodeon and on the Disney Channel. His name is Brian Peck. He worked on all these shows with these kids, and they found out that he was molesting these kids. He had 11 counts on his name for terrible things I don't even want to say just because they're so disturbing and creepy. But yeah, this guy, he was just a weirdo. For all of these terrible, terrible things that he did, he only did 11 months, which is complete, like, it's just so ridiculous that someone can do something that terrible and get away with it. And to make it even worse, after he got out of prison, he freaking got hired on by the Disney Channel, and he worked on The Sweet Life on Deck as like a freaking mirror. He was the voice of this mirror, and the mirror would tell the kids like, oh, that outfit looks nice, or that looks good. And it's creepy. There's like a scene where like a girl, literally he's telling her, come to me, and all this creepy crap, and he's like, jump inside me or something, and she jumps inside the mirror and she disappears, and it's just so disturbing and creepy. I like Disney Channel, but just to know that they let this guy out and they continued to work with him, like, what is that about? Like, why? These people, they just keep doing what they're doing and they get away with it, and there's no consequences. Like, that's so not right. It's just crazy to think that this is just okay and people are just like whatever with it. Like, I don't know. It's very, very frustrating. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like more videos like this, please comment down below and let me know what I shoot in my next video. Until next time, guys, stay safe and don't forget to show me love.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also check out my Instagram, guys. Thanks.